Winter is better with Bombas. They make thoughtfully designed clothes that make you feel cozy at home, supported during outdoor activities, and good knowing that for every item you purchase, they donate another to someone in need. I love Bombas clothing. It's just so dang comfortable. Every item is seamless, tagless, and luxuriously soft. Bombas are the clothes you'll want to cozy up in all winter long. They use the softest materials like merino wool, Pima cotton, and even cashmere, which makes them the perfect cozy wintertime layers. Their slippers are soft on the outside and even softer on the inside thanks to materials like fuzzy Sherpa. Socks, underwear, and t-shirts are the number 1, 2, and 3 most requested items in homeless shelters, and that's why for every comfy item you purchase, Bombas donates another comfy item to someone experiencing homelessness. Go to bombas.com/TMGW and use code TMGW for 20% off your first purchase. This might get weird.
Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
Well, then cheers, Grace Helbig.
Cheers, Mamrie Hart.
A very careful cheers over all our audio equipment as I handle a lemon drop martini.
Classically not thought through. I'm drinking some cannabis infused.
Look at us.
Deliciousness tonight.
The fact is, guys, you guys know we normally record. We used to do mornings. Now it's late afternoons, but this is the first time we've recorded after dark in a second. And so I feel like it's like our I don't
radio
know.
programs that are like Delilah After Dark.
Yeah, I feel like it's. I remember there was like a weekly movie program. I think it was on USA, and it was called Rhonda Up All Night. And it's like when everyone wanted their own Elvira.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it'd be like a little like bubbly, like kind of like tits out girl who would like introduce some bad movie.
Right.
But I just feel like it's a little bit like, are the kids in bed? Welcome to this Might Get Weird.
Guess what? We're going to talk about some non-offensive,
Nothing
obscure information that we've just gleaned from the internet a few hours ago.
Nothing sexy at all. Also, when I cheersed you, I realized... so, you know, I was coming home from something I'll talk about, and I had like a few minutes, and I whipped up a soup. I whipped up a soup.
Yes.
Real quickly. A white bean.
Nice.
Easy breezy.
Yeah.
But I realized I didn't wash my hands. I reek of onions right now. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, I don't smell them, so I'm fine.
Because you know when they get in there, it's like I'm drinking my drink.
Yeah.
And it's like a lemon onion martini.
Well, they do put pearl onions in martinis, right?
They're called a Gibson. They're my favorite.
Yeah.
You know?
It hopefully won't affect me because I'm trying to do the gut-friendly low FOD map stuff again.
Are you back on the, what was that called? SIBO?
I'm back on I'm kind of having this like self-love adventure that I'm on right now.
Grace, I love this. Tell me all about it.
I'm really into it right now. So I'm still not drinking post dry January.
It's
I'm
amazing.
loving it. Feeling
Good job,
great.
dude.
I'm a morning person now. I write about this a lot on our Patreon. If you guys ever want to take a little gander over there.
I'm your biggest fan of Friday posts.
Oh, I love doing it.
I love reading it. Like I read them on Fridays.
You got to get on doing one if you feel like it. It's fun. It's very old school, like stream of consciousness, just like free writing.
Like you just did some favorites.
Yeah, I posted some favorites, a la old favorites videos. Can you see it? They're all up there. And a lot of them are just all tied to like self-care in some way. And so, like, Elliot went to school this weekend, so I had basically the whole weekend alone, or as I say, ladies' weekend, Goose and I.
Rip it up.
And I don't know if you have this when Chip goes out of town, is that, like, it takes me a second to, like, actually take care of myself when I'm by myself. Like, making dinner for Elliot and I is easy to do because it feels like, oh, I'm doing this for us. But when he's out of town, I revert to being like, I'll just eat peanut butter out of the jar. I don't want dirty dishes. And so this weekend I was like, no, we're going to like take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
My stomach had been like I was just kind of eating whatever I wanted. And so I decided to like look up gut-friendly recipes, actually make them for myself, made a huge difference, didn't feel bad at all.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I'm trying to like do the thing where you're conscious of what you put in your body.
Yeah. I mean, you know that shit hits the window when it comes to cocktails. But with food,
I said that's as I'm drinking my weed right now.
I love this though. I've told you. I love the idea of weed cocktails. And like for me, that's in my head where I'm like, well, take less nights off drinking, but you could still have like a weed cocktail. I understand to you people, it sounds like, can't you just be sober one night? No.
Well, for my own anxiety and for actually my sleep, it helps me fall asleep a lot better because it's either I'm trying to knock myself out with some ZQuil or some gummy melatonin, or like I just have a nice little weed cocktail. I enjoy television really a lot. I love just becoming another part of my couch.
Oh, girl, I have got so many things to say. The first thing I was going to say is it doesn't help me sleep because it makes me so gassy.
Oh, right. Yeah, we've talked about this.
I mean, says the girl who just made a cauldron of bean soup.
Like, whose hands smell like onions.
It must be the 5 milligrams of weed I drank.
Yeah, no, she's drinking her beans, and that's fine. But drinking the weed is too much.
Truly about to have 4 servings of cannellini as soon as we end this, and like a shitload of garlic.
Like I've told you before, my theory on that is that it just relaxes you enough that it gets it all out.
My butthole is so relaxed.
Yeah.
What was I going to say before that? But I know what you're talking about being alone. I mean, granted, like I'm by myself here a lot more than, because Chip is on the road. But even like I came back from visiting him, got back late Saturday night, like 11 o'clock. Sunday, I was like, and I even put it up on my Instagram story. I was like, am I going to do all of these things?
Yeah.
Or am I going to do nothing? And I was like, do a couple.
Yeah.
Like just do a couple. So I went to the farmer's market.
Your bounty looked incredible.
Hello.
Yeah.
The onions, celery, carrots, and thyme in that soup right now.
Yeah, they're doing their job.
It's from the farmer's market. But anyway, I did that. And like, I've been cooking for myself.
Yeah.
I haven't had trash bags in 4 days.
Haven't had trash bags because of...
I'm just saying, like...
Oh, that you're consuming
I'm like
everything.
making organic from scratch meals, but like have knock on to the corner store to get trash bags. It's like the kind of thing where I'm just like, that feels like a Chip.
Oh, I
task.
know. That's like I know. I was literally just like starting and finishing tasks like laundry and like cleaning, washing my sheets and like doing that.
Clean laundry in the right beside you?
Yeah.
It's been wet since yesterday.
Yeah. No, I know.
It's nighttime.
I have also adopted this like mold phobia as an adult now.
Oh, that sounds fun.
I'm constantly worried that we're getting mold in some way, shape, or form in our place. So every time I leave wet shit in the dry or in the washer overnight, I'm just like, I gotta wash the fuck out of this now. It certainly has mold.
But it wouldn't be like black mold.
No,
like, it's
I know.
not gonna poison you.
I don't know what it is. In the last year, it somehow entered my brain that mold is more of a threat than I've ever let on before.
Is this gonna become like a large part of your personality?
No, however, it did come, my worry did come true because we were storing, Elliot's friend Pete that moved out of town for a second, we were storing all of his books in our garage. And after the holidays, when it rained in LA, like an unusual amount of rain, it came into our garage in the only spot that his books in cardboard boxes were. And we tried to save all of them, but then we like put them all out to dry. And
then the raccoons grabbed them and they've had a book
so
club
smart
every
now.
week.
The raccoons are so intelligent now. They know so many things about philosophy and religion.
Yeah, you
it's
try to
blowing
scare
our
them
mind.
off and they're like, okay, let's talk about Nietzsche.
But classically, we let them sit in the garage. And then last week, I actually started looking at them. They're all growing mold. So we had to throw away
all his books.
Not all of them. We still have about 12 plastic containers full of books because I put them all in plastic containers. But
this guy sounds like a nightmare to help move.
We love feet. And he, or rather, we threw away like so many of the ones that were clearly ruined, and it felt so bizarre to throw. And if anyone was driving past our garbage out on the street, it looked like we were like a Christian home burning all these books.
You look like a DeSantis.
Yeah, it's like
follower.
No education in this household, no free thinking.
My God. How did he take it? Because
that's an Elliot problem. That's what we call an Elliot. We'll handle that. It's no one's fault.
No,
but
of
it
course
feels
not.
like you want to blame something.
Unprecedented precipitation.
And I told Elliot, I was like, my mold phobia has been proven true here in a way that I didn't want it to be proven true.
I mean,
but I cleaned up the whole garage this weekend as part of like my let's organize our space. I've been really like, kind of responsive to like when your space is clean, your brain feels more clean.
Well, yeah, I need to get on it. I mean, I don't want to brag, but I swept out here yesterday.
Nice.
I mean,
but meanwhile, you were in the Cayman Islands this weekend.
I was. I mean, like nothing really happened outside of the turtle orgy. We, because Chip was working during the day. So then he would get back after every single day, 12-hour day.
Damn.
Like, I can't imagine. So, we'd like go get food or like have a couple drinks or like even like the last 2 nights I was there, like he was getting in at midnight.
Damn. That is so wild.
So then we'd hang out for a couple hours and then, we'd sleep in until 11 or something. So nothing really crazy happened, but I had a lovely time. It was gorgeous. And I'll be back there in a couple weeks.
Nice.
But on the way home, I told you like the flight I took, right?
Maybe.
So long story short, you can get to the Cayman Islands a lot of ways, but there's the Cayman Airways, who's, oh God, what is his name? Sir something. They have a mascot and it's a turtle with a peg leg.
Oh, what happened? That's where my brain goes. What has happened here?
Well, it's like a turtle pirate.
Okay.
So he's got like a little bandana on. He's got an outfit and he's got a peg leg.
Okay.
Right?
Obviously. Yeah.
Which is so funny because I saw like a picture of him like in an actual mascot uniform of that and they couldn't do it. So I was just like, why does he have one huge brown boot?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, that's his peg leg. But so anyway, it's the Cayman Airways.
Okay.
And they fly direct from LAX.
Wow.
But they do one flight on Sundays going there.
Yeah.
And one flight returning on Saturdays.
Fuck.
That's it.
Wow.
You can like take other airlines and like connect.
Everywhere.
Yeah. It was like I could take Delta. This bitch is loyal.
Yeah.
But like it was truly like get to Atlanta at midnight and then stay the night and fly out at 9 a.m. I was like, and so expensive.
Yeah.
My flight there, $120.
Holy shit.
My flight
on
back,
the Cayman Airways?
$200. Yeah, direct.
See, the way money exists in relation to the Cayman Islands continues to boggle my mind.
It's a lot of offshore accounts.
Yeah.
But so anyway, I go but because it's like this random fucking airline with like one flight, whatever, it's fully like flying in 2002 again.
Really?
Like they don't do TSA pre.
Whoa, really?
Like it's not a part of their system. They can't put it on your ticket.
Okay.
Like you just go through.
Everyone boards at the same time?
Well, no.
Or there's sections.
TSA pre, it's just like I had to, take out my laptop. When I was like, well, I put in my TSA pre number, they're like, yeah, our system doesn't print it on the tickets. I was like, okay. And so we're walking through and then immediately I went through and they made you get on a shuttle to go to like a different place. So I was just like, what is happening?
Yeah.
We get there, but really, I mean, it was perfect. I had my own row both times.
That's amazing.
Well, the way there, it was in the morning. So I was like sleeping and, you get that anxiety about waking up early.
Yeah.
But like they still like wake you up to ask you what sandwich you want.
I was going to ask about the food situation.
There's no Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Well, they have the Wi-Fi where like you can connect on your own device and watch some movies, but like you can't actually surf the net. And there's no surf the net.
Surf's up.
Cowabunga. And there's no like TV. There's no outlets.
Yeah.
Like I'm truly like, did you buy this plane off a different airline like 20 years ago? But it was all great and everyone was incredibly nice. And it was a fine experience. And then on the way back, like it was an evening one. Mm-hmm. So I left the Caymans at like 5. First of all, they don't send you any push notifications if your flight is delayed. If you look up like Flight Tracker or go on their website, it does not update it.
Wow. This is like how we all used to travel.
That's what I'm saying. It felt like very like, oh my God, I feel like I'm the mom in Home Alone. To where like, I remember getting like an email that was like, your flight's been pushed, but I got it like days before. And I was like, well, this is weird. Yeah. But I guess they only have one flight, but how do they know it's delayed? So I straight up called customer service the day of my flight and was like, is this real? Is my flight at 3 or is it at 5? They're like, no, it's pushed. I get there. They never update the thing.
It still says 3?
Everyone arrives and is like, did I miss my flight? Like, it's chaos.
Fuck.
Right?
They don't care.
They're just like, whatever. We're in the islands. Like, deal with it.
Yeah.
So I'm on the flight. It's all good. I have my own row. And then I see there's like a family where it was like, like families, my family never did this. So it's so surreal to me of like, it's almost like a double date vacation. Like parents and their kids. You could be like, oh, you guys vacation together. You're rich.
Two
families.
Two families. Okay, I was like double date within a family. What the fuck are you talking about?
No, I just mean like, oh, there's a mom and dad. There's mom and dad. There's their kids. Their kids are friends, and they vacation together.
I didn't even know my parents had friends when I was younger.
Mine didn't.
Yeah, mine didn't. that I was like, we just went home and the TV took care of us.
our best friend.
Yeah.
The television.
That was my favorite babysitter.
So anyway, two of the parents are sitting across from me, and then the rest are like 5 rows ahead. And then I could see I had my own row. And one of them goes, "Psst, hey, come back. Like it's before we took off to be like, you guys can sit across from us. They walked up towards me, and the look I gave this woman.
Oh, wait, she told them to come sit in your row?
I had my whole row, and she was basically being like, hey, other woman and your kid, take those two. The look I gave, and I can't control my face, so I don't know what it is, but the woman looked me in the eye and went, no, we're good. And turned around, and she was like, why? It's open. She was like, we're fine. I mean, I think I was
you
like,
were putting
fire.
a hex on her. And she was like, no, we don't want any of this woman's juju.
I mean, truly, I think for those of you watching the pod, I was like I was like shaking with rage.
It's your only line of defense.
I was like, I have my own fucking row.
Yeah.
I'm not like, I get whatever. If a person wanted to be like, can I take the aisle?
Yeah.
Great. But I'm not going from own row to kid.
No way. No way.
So anyway, that was all fine and well. But since it was an evening flight, they came around with their very limited drink service. And I was like, I'll take a red wine.
Yeah.
And, they gave me like a Mott's apple juice can of Behringer Cabernet, like the tiniest thing.
I can't believe that they had that.
I know.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to do, have you, on international flights when they'll just have like a Magnum
Yeah. And they'll
of
just
like
pour.
Costco Kirkland,
yeah.
which I'm all about. But so anyway, I have my wine, and then it's like an hour later, still got like 3 hours on the flight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I got to pee. I'm going to pee and like just buy another glass back there. One of these pricey $5 glasses. So I get back there.
Which you've taught me that technique, by the way, which I never, for some reason, it never occurred to me that I could just go back and ask them directly for another glass of something.
Well, here's the deal.
It's much more discreet, and I appreciate it.
It's discreet than I hate nothing more than having to hit the button.
Yeah.
But also, I would like, if you are a flight attendant, to weigh in, tweet at us, do whatever, if that sucks.
Is that annoying?
Because...
Are we the asshole?
Are we the assholes? Because I go back there, and of course, it feels like the 3 flight attendants are like kikiing.
Yeah, and you're interrupting their free time.
I'm like, is it better for me to like hit it, and they have to walk 20
they
rows?
They get to choose which one of them deals with you.
Back to walk for, or like getting some steps in. So I'm waiting for the bathroom. They're full. So I just go, oh, by the way, I'd love to buy another glass of Cabernet. I brought my card, whatever. And they look at me so crazy. And then I'm like, yeah. And so, they take a second. And then he goes, what seat are you in? Thinking he's saying, I'm going to bring it to you.
Yeah.
I was like, 16E. He was like, yeah, you've only had one, right? And I go, yeah. And then the other flight attendant goes, do you drink a lot on long distance flights?
Whoa.
This is an airline that woke me up from a dead sleep at 9 a.m. to give me a rum punch on the way there.
What a weird loaded question.
Right? Like, I was like, I don't need a rum punch. He was like, it's free. Take it, girl. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And do you drink a lot on long distance flights? I go, yeah, I mean, it's an evening flight. I'm relaxing. I land at like 10 p.m., so I'll have a couple drinks. She goes, does it affect you differently? And I go, then what? She was like, then when you're on the ground, because, actually, an alcoholic drink will hit you twice as hard when you're at this altitude.
Okay.
And then the other guy goes, yeah, the worst hangover I've ever had is Denver. I was like, I've had bad, I was like, oh,
same.
thank God.
That's my worst hangover is
Yes.
Denver. Yeah.
But I was like, oh, thank God. At least he's saying he's had alcohol before.
Right.
She looks at me and she goes, I'll have to try it sometime. I mean, we get people who have a couple drinks and they don't know their limits. So they don't realize they're affected. And I go, I guarantee I won't feel this. Will you please run my card? I felt like I walked in to like a church group.
Yeah.
And was like, who wants a martini? I was like, why are you saying this to me? I'm getting a second glass of wine on a 6-hour flight.
There's something like passively patronizing about not even saying it directly, but asking you.
Yes.
About like, so do you drink a lot?
Who would say that?
It feels so loaded. And I know for their sake, they have to obviously like maintain control of all the passengers on a flight. But at the same time, it's like a red wine.
Yes.
So it's like the worst that's going to happen is you fall asleep.
I was like, am I slurring? I've had I've gotten drunker at a communion.
Can you imagine if you didn't know, unbeknownst to you, the mother that you cursed with your eyes went back and
my
already
God.
reported you to them and said, this woman is drinking heavily and I just want you guys to be aware of it.
I would love if that's now the memory I'm going to hold.
Yeah.
Because I was just so thrown. I was like,
Yeah, that is, that's tough. Because it's like, they're not, I don't think their intentions are bad, but
No.
it's like just awkward.
I mean, and then when I left, finally, she was like, I'll have to try it sometime. As it, like,
Try what? Try drinking on a plane.
flight.
Oh, I mean, I
I
guess.
said, I'm glad I can inspire you. Like at that point, I didn't give a fuck. I said, I literally said to them, I feel real judged right now. Like, yeah, I was like, what is the deal, guys? Take my $5 or don't. This isn't an intervention.
Right.
I had 2 glasses of wine.
I mean, and I can't imagine the shit they've seen coming
know.
from the Cayman Islands. They were coming from or to?
From. So I think they are like,
They must be on a high alert, but that was a strange way to like just let you know that they have to like maintain some order or something.
I mean, it was delayed and it wasn't until 5. So I'm sure they get people who are like drinking on the beach all day and then being like, it's a direct flight. Let's just roll on.
Yeah.
But I was truly like sitting there, like working on a script, like talking to no one, like being the best little
harmless.
Like, but anyway, so what killed me though is I finally got it and I'm like, sheesh, that was tough. I'm walking down the aisle. An old man juts his elbow out. Elbows me in the crotch like a full wrestling move. It hurt so bad. Expecting an apology, I look at him. He rubs his elbow and goes, "Geez."
You're like, sorry, sir, that was my chastity belt that you nailed.
I mean, I was like, you just exploded my pussy bone. But I hope I really didn't affect your rock hard elbow.
Yeah.
He said, "Geez," like expecting an apology. I was like, get me off this flight.
Everyone's just a little weird.
It's a little strange. So anyway, but it was a nice time overall.
Oh, that's good.
It was great.
That's nice. You made it.
I made it. If I can turn my computer back on.
I have just like stories from the internet to talk about, but I really want to hear about the thing you did today.
Oh my God.
So
okay.
Yeah, I'll talk about this shit at the end, but I'm more curious about your experience. You feel free to have a sip too.
Oh, I will. Okay. I'll dive into this too.
Unlike the flight attendants, I'm encouraging you to take the time to enjoy your drink.
I mean, they shook me. I'm on my way home today and I text you and I'm like, also, I'm probably going to have a drink.
I know. And I was
during the
like, you know
podcast.
this. You can drink in front of me when I'm not drinking whenever the fuck you want. And now that makes more sense to understand why you would be like, I'm giving you a heads up.
High alert. High alert. Okay. Here's what I did today, you guys. It was very exciting.
Yeah.
Non-spawn. Our friend, Jacqueline, I saw that she did like a trade on Instagram.
Yeah.
Not like a sponsored post, but there's this company called Prenuvo that essentially it's like the most in-depth MRI ever for your whole body.
I've been literally saying that when I go to a doctor's appointment, I wish they would treat me like a car going through a car wash in which they check everything.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to tell them to be looking for of like, preemptive, whatever, this or that. So I'm just like internally look at everything.
No, totally. Because it's also like if I get like a pain in my, like when I pulled my back, it was like bottom left. And I was like, well, I either have sciatica or my appendix just burst.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I will go into that. So anyway, I saw she did it and immediately I slid into their DMs.
Oh, so yeah, I clicked on it and I went to their website and I was like, oh yeah, I understand this is the price it is because
it's expensive.
It's expensive.
This was a gift.
But it's completely thorough.
So basically what it is they have this MRI machine essentially that scans your whole body, but they do so many. It's like it's like cutting technology.
Yeah.
So long story short, they told me afterwards, like the owner came and talked to me, and he was like, to get a scan this thorough, it would be 4 different MRIs and would take about 5 hours.
That's when I saw Jacqueline post it. That's why I was like, this is what I'm looking for.
Well, I
I don't even want to go to all the specialists and like call up the different people and ask about the
it's like everything. He said he was like, the only time like someone does this if it's like someone already has like extensive cancer, like, like, and then even still you would be like sedated.
Yeah,
totally. So you go and that you essentially like, it's a full MRI, which I'll talk about the process in a second. But Grace,
What?
They like, first of all, I'm waiting for the results. It'll be like 2 weeks, but then they showed me the scans. Like, you're watching your brain move. They can be like, you might have an aneurysm in 6 months. Like, they fully, what they can do is they can find like cancer on like such a like barely stage one that they're like, yeah, if we could find something happening in your breast that would literally be an outpatient something.
Yeah.
But if you waited until you felt something in your breast, then, you know, so it's
that's
like,
exactly what I want. I'm like, I don't even know how to even like, even in my journey of self-care, I'm still learning how to like register in with my body to see like what's a concern or what is me, like my mold phobia being blown out of proportion.
Man, we fell. Can you run the mold scans?
Do I have mold poisoning?
My God. Is mold fungi?
Maybe. Yeah. Quick Google. But
okay. Anyway, just curious.
With The Last of Us on TV right now and everyone talking about how we're not that far off from that kind of situation actually happening in real life.
Jesus.
Obviously, creative brain runs wild with creative narratives.
Well, then you
it.
just confirmed why I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah.
But anyway, like they said like 1 in like 20 people get a diagnosis that like could be life-saving.
Yeah, that's, I mean, even
it's crazy.
Even Jacqueline had a few things that came up on hers that she posted about that she was unaware of.
So he was just like, the owner guy was like, yeah, most people come in here not because they have anything bad. They just want peace of mind.
Yeah.
Like, we can just tell them like, hey, this is going to happen in
that's
a couple
what
years.
I want.
It's like, it was psychic. But okay, so I slide into the DMs. I'm like, what's up? My friend.
You sent them an old Budweiser commercial gif. What's up?
I sent him the scream face mask. And then I said, Budweiser. No, I miss those frogs. I miss them. They really don't make Super Bowl ads like they used to.
Oh, they don't.
But so anyway, they were like, sure, come in, etc. They set it all up. I've never done a health questionnaire.
Oh,
like a
that's
more
intensive.
in-depth. They were asking me what ailments my father's father had.
I have no idea.
Me neither. But and also like heritage.
Yeah.
They'd be like, is your mother's father also Irish, English? Like, you have to put like crazy and then like what they suffered from. And they can say, you know, of course, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But like everything.
Wow.
Like, I mean, and I was honest about like, I was honest where they were like, they give you so many symptoms. And I said, you know what? I do have some excessive belching sometimes. like it was so many details.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, lay it out there. Oh, I you know what?
Now's the time.
I don't have black stool, but I didn't shit the entire time I was in the Caymans. Would you like to know about that?
Why, yes, I do have diarrhea 4 to 5 days a week.
Right?
I guess that is not normal.
Well, you know, once I see it on the health intake form, so I go and I do, you know, I'm sitting there on the iPad and I do the whole thing and I'm just like, wow, okay. I really, and also it's always one of those things where you go, well, yeah, I got blood drawn. Oh, 2019 was 4 years ago. That's not normal. Well, I didn't have high blood pressure then.
Yeah, exactly.
So batting 1,000. So then they take you in and they give you this little room and you put on scrubs, which is just fun in general.
Oh,
you know?
God, you feel so professional. It immediately makes me feel like higher IQ.
Yeah.
Like, I can clearly answer someone's questions.
Oh, 1,000%. It was like scrubs. And then they were like, just get down to your underwear, socks if you want your own, or here's some, here's the scrubs. And then it was like a very thin kind of like sports bra.
Oh, okay.
So
do you
like,
get to keep all of this after?
No,
what do they do? They must wash it.
Well, I think that the sports bra felt disposable. But,
okay.
Yeah, it was like a little, like almost not like a pantyhose, but like maybe like tights. It was like, but it was pink. It was cute.
Cute.
It was really cute. And I was doing my social media, so like I had to set up a camera because I'm gonna make a reel as like a thank you, and then did the whole just full Hey USA like. Like and then I'll be in the scrubs. Like I fully went like 2011.
That was before TikTok had all their transitions. It was the good old fashioned snaps, and I'm wearing something different.
The double snaps. I did it once, and then I like moved an inch in case it didn't match. Like I was like, what in the fucking Hey USA am I doing right now?
I love it.
So I have that, and it's so nice. They like show you like your code to the door. They come and get you, and this sweet technician comes and gets me, and he just brings me into a giant room with an MRI machine.
Yeah.
But like, I've never had an MRI.
Me either. So that's what I'm a little concerned about. I get very claustrophobic.
Well, here's the vibe.
Yeah.
Chip was like, because he would get it for like, I think he's gotten like quite a few. And even him, like, I don't paint him as a person who gets anxiety or like claustrophobia. I mean, like, I don't think he likes small spaces, but not enough to where like, I just think he's tough.
Moment. Yeah.
And he was just like, oh no, like you really have to like focus on like, he sent me like a pep talk of like, just breathe and it'll be over, you know, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so luckily this is like built different. It's like, I guess normally an MRI machine, and I'm sure there's tons of different types, but it's just like you lay down. I'll get to these parts, but it's like they put you in, it's like one big cough. It's like a tanning bed, but like smaller.
I saw it on Jacqueline's video, and like that's my understanding.
No, but this one, it's actually because they're like going for the different parts. It's actually like you're in there, but like then your feet are out, but it like moves you. So like you're not like just in a coffin stationary. Okay. Right? So it's taking like different readings for different stuff.
Got it.
So we get there and we're talking through it. And I immediately to this guy, God bless George. He was so sweet. I was like, I've never done this. I'm nervous. Like immediately. And he was like, that's okay. I'm going to walk you through it. So he was essentially like, you're going to lay down. We'll get you. When you got down in there, they put something over your feet, like basically legs. It's kind of like a heavy thing on your chest.
Okay. Like when you get x-rays and stuff.
Yeah, but like it's your whole body. So you're locked in.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So he's telling me about this. We haven't done it yet. He's like, essentially, you're going to go in there. It's going to scan you at different points. And then there's going to be 4 different times where the machine is going to talk to you and say, breathe in, breathe out, hold your breath. And then you hold your breath for like 10 seconds. And you do that like 6 times, probably 4 times through the hour. Okay. Because it's an hour long.
Right.
Right. And so I'm not good at holding my breath. I'm not.
When you're already probably breathing shallow because you're in this tiny situation. Yeah.
The anxiety. So anyway, and I'm just bad at it in general. Like when we used to be at the pool growing up and they'd be like, let's have a tea party at the bottom of the pool. I'd be like, have fun.
See you after.
Have fun. Okay. But so anyway, I'm like, okay. And I go, well, you'll be in here with me, right? He was like, no. I go, what if I freak out and need to get out of it? Yeah. He goes, well, then you'll go home. And if you'd like, and if we want to reschedule, we'll ask you to take a sedative and arrange a car.
Wow. Okay.
So it was like, if I fuck this up, so it's not like, now. Put me back in there, boss. No. It's more like, no, we'd have to start from scratch again. We have other patients. Yeah. Go home, you loser. They weren't like that. This was my self-talk. This is my self-talk.
But that's kind of knowing you. That is the kind of motivation it would take to be like, I'm going to fucking sit through this whole hour then.
But here's the deal. So I'm like, okay. He goes, you'll hear me. I will check in on you every 10 minutes. Yeah. I was like, can you hear me the whole time? He goes, no, I can't while we're doing the tests. Okay. So he was like, so we'll do scans and it's really loud. Okay. So it was like, rah, rah, and I didn't know that. I mean, I think I had like a memory of it, but here's the difference, Grace. You're not going to believe it. Okay. They have come up with the technology. Chip was like, fuck you.
You can watch
Netflix.
That's what Jacqueline said on her video. And that's the thing that literally her saying that was the only reason that I was like, I'm going to consider this now.
So I'll tell you about it. But so basically what it is behind the MRI machine, they have the TV. Okay. And then they put like a thing over you that's like a mirror reflection. Wow. So you're watching. So, I mean, it saved my life. Like, honestly, like if that hadn't been there, I would have freaked out. Oh,
God. I'd be like, can you guys throw on MILF Manor for me real quick?
Well, no. Okay, so here's the deal. So he was like, and you'll be able to watch this. And I go, oh, I know. He goes, yeah, you're pretty much ruined for all other MRIs now. He was like, wow, yeah. He was like, we're the first people to ever do this. Like, whoa. You know, it was kind of, I was like, thank God.
The convenience of this entire thing is blowing my mind.
It pays to slide into DMs, you guys. So anyway, so I'm like, he's like, you ready? I was like, I'm ready. and so I lay down on the thing and he puts like something over my legs. He like secures me in, you know, you're kind of like strapped in. He puts the heavy thing on the chest. He warns me. He's like, this is a little heavy. I'm like, okay. You know, like I feel like an umpire. Then he brings your arms in. Okay. So you're underneath. I immediately go, because you know me, even Edward Scissorhands.
You know, your hands free.
Edward 40 hands. Yeah. I was like, I need one pinky free. Yeah. Like, I feel so he's got me in there, but he has like a little like squeezy thing. Okay. That he goes, if you freak out and it's during the test and I can't hear you, this is that.
Life alert.
He goes, but this is emergency and I'm stopping the machine.
Oh, okay.
No
oh man,
pressure.
what if I accidentally
That's what I'm
squeeze
saying,
it out
just
of
from
just
nerve.
like, yeah, that I'm just like, because it's in my hand. I'd be like, I don't really want that even in my hand.
I know. And then he told me to do it as a practice so I could hear. And it sounded like I said, that sounds like a clown horn. I love it. So then I was like, oh, all I want to do is squeeze it.
Yeah.
All I want to do is like a tiny whoopee cushion. So he gets me all in chest. I think like we're good to go, right?
Yeah.
So I'm being like, if I move an elbow out just out of like sheer panic, will that ruin the test? He was like, yeah, it won't match.
Wow.
I'm just like, fuck me. Like I'm starting to get a little anxiety, right?
Yeah.
He's like, okay. And then he pulls out a plastic thing and clicks it over my head. That's basically like, I don't know, like a toilet bowl kind of like now your head is in.
Okay.
It's not like touching your face. You could do this, but you're officially Hannibal Lectered.
Wow.
And that's where like, you know, he's going to also put the mirror so you can watch Netflix, right? And the headphones. He snaps that in and I go, I need you to take it off.
Yeah.
I said, I'm kind of freaking out.
Yeah.
So I sit up and I was like, I'm sorry. And like, he's so sweet, like truly so sweet. And I was like, I'm sorry. I was like, I'm just getting a little anxious.
Yeah.
He has to take everything off of me. You know what I mean? Besides the legs. And I was like, when I get anxiety, my mouth gets really dry.
Yeah.
And I was like, because, you know, I go into an audition
like,
and it's like,
any red wine?
I wonder if they would. No, they tell you you have to fast 4 hours before.
I was gonna ask, could they tell if anything was in your system?
Well, they say
Obviously
only
they could.
like water, tea, and black coffee for the 4 hours before. So I was already a little antsy because at 10, which was 4 hours before, I realized I hadn't eaten and I just like scarfed one apple.
Yeah.
So I was already like, oh God, it's 2 o'clock and I haven't eaten. So anyway. I am curious to be like, does tequila count as a tea?
They're not drawing blood.
Yeah. Like,
so
what's going on? So anyway, I freak out. He goes and gets me a water. He's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. And I'm like, I just get it, you know. I am spiraling because I know I'm about to be strapped in again.
This is why I would overthink it too much.
Well, but then you gotta go. And like, I did this in retrospect. What do you think bad is going to happen besides your own brain? You know what I mean? Like, you're literally so safe right now.
Yeah.
You have a clown horn that tells them to stop.
Yeah.
All they're doing is running tests to make you have peace of mind for the next few years.
Right.
Like, what? I got to get over my brain right now.
Yeah.
I was like, I've got to, get over it. So he puts me in. I'm like, oh, buddy, I'm about to waste some people's time. Oh,
here we go. Honk, baby.
But the way they have the mirror thing.
Yeah.
Like, and I said to him, I go, at any point am I fully covered? He was like, no, that's the glory of this machine.
Oh,
is
great.
Like, you're either like your torso's in or your midsection's in or your legs are in.
So, that's great.
Since I knew my head was going to pop out and back in during stuff, I was like, sweet freedom.
Yeah.
Like, so anyway, we get it started. And by the way, as soon as I sat down, he goes, so is there something? I go, The Circle, season 3, episode 8. He was like, he was like, I need you to know how appreciative I am. You knew what you wanted to watch.
Yeah.
I was like, I was going back and watching this season of The Circle I hadn't seen. And in my car, I looked at my app to be like, what do I want to watch?
Smart.
Like, you don't have a remote.
Right.
You know?
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Are they just like putting on random or you requesting?
No, so you get to, so as soon as it started, I was like, oh, this is weird. And like as soon as I got through like the first breathing one, and then it's like, the whole time, I was like, I'm going to get through this.
Yeah.
And then like 5 minutes in, he was like, how you doing? I was like, I'm good. 10 minutes in, I'm good.
Oh,
like,
good.
Granted, I started getting a little like just angsty when you like restless leg syndrome, when you're like, when your dog falls asleep on you and you're like, all I want to do is stretch this leg.
Yeah.
Like all I want to do, there were a couple times where like I had an itch.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, shoot. Yeah. You can't move at all.
You can't move at all.
Oh,
I know. And now that I have bangs too, it was like, there's a little bit of a fan that goes on certain movements. And I was like, oh, my face itches. It truly felt like I was learning how to meditate.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's what I was going to say. It feels like you really have to lock into that.
I got comfortable so fast enough that by the end of it, let me say, first of all, watching The Circle, you know how it's like, alert.
Yeah.
That's what the thing sounded like the whole time. So I was like, it just sounds like one big circle alert. But so by the end of it, I was like, honestly, I could have stayed another 20 and finished this episode.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Sweet, sweet TV that takes care of us.
So, and then
it's the biggest medicine.
It soothed me so much. And then I got out and then it was great. And then they like, they had a guy there and he like took photos of me in front of the sign and like a couple of things. And he was like, let's take photos in front of this. And then we'll match that beside like your scans.
Yeah.
And then they just talked to me about it. And they were like, you're going to look, if there's something that pops up, you'll know.
Yeah.
And then if there's nothing, you'll have total peace of mind.
That's
or if
fantastic.
something pops up, you'll have peace of mind because you're going to take care of it.
Yeah.
And not like wait for you to like start getting sick.
Mm-hmm.
It was wild.
Good for you. Good for you. I'm so curious about it. And also like, it does make me anxious. The like laying absolutely still for like, cause I'm a very fidgety like shifter.
You're like you like sit on your feet and stuff. Yeah.
And I like have to shift around and I do it so unconsciously that to sit there consciously and not move my body, I think would be the biggest hurdle for me to get over, but worth it. Cause then like what's going on in your body.
I know, guys. And I swear this isn't just like a big ad for them at all. Not making $1. Grace isn't making $1, but it was more just a matter of like, it's almost like now if something happened to me and someone was like, you're going to get an MRI. Granted, I got like the limousine. Like I was trying to compare and I was like, it's like I came when I lost my virginity. Like, you know what I mean? It's like the standard is too high. Yeah. But at least I know I was like, my brain was able to overcome what was really kind of scary for me.
So you like crossed the threshold today.
A little bit.
A little rite of passage for you.
I said to them, I was like, hey, look, no matter what happens with these results, like it's a win for me, baby.
And then your results come back and they're like, ma'am, you are full of spiders and cobwebs.
But on the way out, and they're so sweet because they knew I'd been fasting. So they like were giving me snacks and like, do you want coffee and like this and that? So sweet. And they were talking about it. And I was saying like, well, I'm going to post a reel for you guys, but like, can I send it to you first so that I make sure I'm not saying anything incorrect? Right. They were like, of course. And then I was like, oh yeah, I would love my friend Grace to come. And I was like, this is right up her alley. I was like, but I'm going home right now to podcast with her and I'm going to talk about it on the podcast. And they're like, oh my God. They were like, that's so fun. They were like, we'll have a listening party. And I go, and then you'll listen to earlier eps and know why my body is so riddled and fatigued.
Yeah, then you'll understand that I wasn't lying on the questionnaire about everything I've put in my body for the last year.
To the point where the options were like, drink 4 to 6 times a week or every day. I was like, we're just gonna put down every day. I mean, like, there's no point to lie right now.
You can't lie, and in a situation like that, I feel like this machine will find the truth even if you're lying.
It truly is like, you want to get the truth out of someone, put them in an MRI machine.
Damn. Well,
so it was great.
I really am excited and interested and a little nervous, but I'll have to check it out.
So funny. Chip was like, what do you mean Netflix?
I know, that is honestly.
He was like, what the fuck? I was like, I know.
As soon as Jacqueline said that in her video, I was like, and we're clicking this link and we're looking at what this is. This is expensive, but you are getting literally what I fantasize about in my brain,
Grace,
which is the full body car wash scan.
Will work for Netflix because I truly was in there and I was like, this is not ideal, but like, I could see this being the most soothing part of a mother of 5's day.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting a fucking MRI.
Exactly.
So it was kind of crazy and like surreal, but then it's awesome too because they showed you like when they have your results and they like call you and walk you through everything.
Okay.
But they have an app and like she was showing me you're like watching your brain move.
Wow.
Like
it's just fascinating.
It was like a profile one and it shows she's like, this is where we'll talk about your endocrine system. This is where we'll talk about this. This is where we'll talk about your blood vessels, all the stuff. And then even on the side she goes, and it's really so crazy too because you're in there looking at stuff. She goes, look at that. You see the eyeball doing this.
Wow.
Like you see your eyeball like pulsating and looking at stuff. I told her, I was like, this is going to be my avatar for everything. I get like this of my skull just like hanging out. I mean, if the circle doesn't give us a brand deal.
Damn. Oh, man. Wow. I'm so excited for you. Congratulations.
Oh, thanks. I did nothing.
And fingers crossed on all the results.
Yeah. I mean, guys, I didn't go in there because like anything was bad. It was just more like I'm going to talk about other stuff. We're at the
era where shifts and pivots and awarenesses are all kind of happening right now. I feel like I'm feeling my age. I think.
Really?
In like a good way, you know, like I still mentally sometimes forget and think that I'm like still mid-20s.
Oh, totally.
Then I have to like remind myself that we're off from that.
1,000%. We were texting with Hannah because on Valentine's Day, I was like, happy 9th Dakotaversary. And we were all just like, oh my God.
I can't. That blows my mind. Yeah. And when people like even asking for conversation topics, like people always want to know more about Hey USA. And I'm like, that's now so long ago. I couldn't tell you anything that I've already told you about.
We don't remember it. And sorry for people who gave Grace, I'm sure, amazing suggestions. And then I just had too much to talk about.
Oh, no, I wanted to know about it. The only thing I was going to talk about is which someone did suggest, that a 2,000-year-old sex toy, a Roman sex toy, was discovered.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I just thought the quotes from the archaeologists were really funny. They said,
was it like dildo-y?
So it was. So basically, it was a 6.5-inch wooden object that was smooth at both ends. And the quote was, "The question we found ourselves asking is what sort of object shaped like a phallus would have greater wear at both ends than in the middle?" Dr. Collins said. One possible answer, a dildo.
Double-sided dildo.
Yeah. And they said, the archaeologists who analyzed the phallus said, it's nice to think that Romans stationed near Hadrian's Wall were having fun, quote, and it's not all dangerous barbarians or boredom while on patrol.
There we go.
So the archaeologists seem thrilled to have really nailed down that they found a sex toy.
They think the dildo is being used by guards?
I guess so. That was my question about it too. That
then
it was
going to be like a little billy bat.
So they must have been fucking while they were on guard, making sure everyone was safe. Or someone dropped it when they were exiting the wall. Who knows? You've left many a dild behind.
Hey, you guys, I won't even say.
This is the year. No dild left behind.
I brought magic wand to the Caymans, and Chip was like, "Don't forget, your wand." And I go, "I'll be back in 3 weeks." I said, "I got a different one at home." He goes, "Okay, but when you come next time, you got to take it home. I don't have room in my suitcase." I was like, "Well, I'll get it back."
The only fight you had.
Oh my God.
Well, what an episode.
I mean, we covered everything from
really
self-help to ancient dildos.
Yeah, all in the service of good old-fashioned self-care.
Oh, man. Well, this got weird.
Yeah. Oh, happy birthday, Elliot. By the way,
today's
his birthday. Everyone go wish Elliot happy birthday.
Okay, that's got even weirder.
Yeah.